What's up, everybody? My name is Raj Shetta. Welcome to a Crimson Orders YouTube video. For those who are returning, welcome back. And this is my... Good God, I'm starting to lose track at this point. I think it's my 11th? Let's see, hold on. Let me do another quick countdown, okay? We got Iron Man 2, Hulk, Thor, Captain America, The First Avengers, Iron Man 3, Thor the Dark World, Winter Soldier, Guardians... Ultron 12. This is the 12th film, 12th part in my ongoing series of Marvel Cinematic Universe films, starting off with the first Iron Man, leading all the way to Avengers Infinity War, which, by the way, if I did not mention this in my last video, I'll mention it here probably again. They moved the date a bit earlier from May 4th to April 27th. That is honestly the most exciting thing that Marvel has ever done. They're giving it to us a week early, so by the time my Black Panther review comes out, I would have seen Infinity War, and I would have given you my review for Infinity War. How exciting is that? I love Marvel. I really can. And it's really smart of them to do that anyway. Not only does it give us a chance to see the movie a week early. We did mention this before, I know, but I'm mentioning this again. But it gives breathing room for other films, like, say, Deadpool 2, or whatever that's going to be officially titled. They didn't really give it a title. They just calling it an untitled Deadpool sequel. Look it up on Wikipedia. And then we have Solo, a Star Wars movie. Yeah, you get the idea. It gives us more breathing room for most movies, but let's face it, we're going to be rewatching Infinity War more times this summer than most films coming out this year. Come on. You have to admit it. You're like the only times you'll be going to the movie theater, aside from Deadpool 2, is definitely Infinity War. I know I'm gonna do it. I know I'm going to love the living hell out of this movie. I can't wait. But I can't talk about Infinity War considering it's like almost. We have like how many weeks away? We have. Let's see, Infinity War. Iron Man, Ant-Man, Captain America, Doctor Strange, Guardians, Spider-Man, Thor, Black Panther. You have like 6 to 7 weeks to go. So let's talk about some. Let's talk about some Ant-Man for a little bit, shall we? By little, I mean a little, because there's not really much to talk about. Okay, where do I start? This film stars Paul Rudd, Michael Douglas, Evangeline Lilly, and Bobby Cannavale, Michael Pena, and a little special appearance by Anthony Mackie as Falcon. This was supposed to be written and directed by Edgar Wright, but due to creative differences between him and Marvel, he left the project, and in replacement for him was Peyton Reed. Now, most of Edgar Wright's ideas were actually made it into the film, but you can clearly tell why Edgar Wright did not want to be involved, because, he just wanted to make a movie. He wanted to make a standalone feature film that has nothing to do with the MCU. And this is something that Marvel, should have acknowledged back then, which I'm glad that they're doing now with other films, say Guardians of the Galaxy. But, Ant-Man came out after Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's a damn shame to see such a brilliant filmmaker be treated like that by a great film studio. I love both Marvel and I love Edgar Wright, but what happened between the two is just unfortunate. I would love to see Edgar Wright's full vision of Ant-Man, but this is what we got, and for the most part, it's not all that bad. I actually quite enjoyed the first Ant-Man movie. It has a great cast, a good sense of It has a good theme. Like, it's not really a superhero movie, really. Yes, it has a comic book character that shrinks and wears a costume and whatnot, but he's not necessarily saving anybody. But yeah, he saves his daughter at the end, but for the most part, this is a heist movie. And it feels like a classic heist movie. And that's one of the many things I truly enjoyed about the first Ant-Man. The fact that it's another genre a wielding film. It's not just like superhero action. It has amazing effects, but for the most part, like I said, it is a heist movie. It stars Paul Rudd as Scott Lang, who is an ex-con known for theft, and he is retrieved by Michael Douglas, aka the original Hank Pym, who requires him to wear the Ant-Man suit and sneak inside his own company in order to stop Paxton from using the Ant-Man technology. And yeah, it's a pretty simple, straightforward tale, nothing too much to go on to, I mean, it is what it is. It's pretty straightforward in terms of its plot and characters, so I'm not going to go completely into that. Marvel clearly is not holding any punches, especially for this kind of film. Well, even though there literally was a punch in the movie. A few punches here and there, but I'm not talking about, like, complete Edgar Wright-esque violence. If you've seen any Edgar Wright movies, you would know how much violence is included in those kind of movies. There's not as much as I wanted it to be. I mean, come on, this is Ant-Man. There's some crazy imaginative possibilities with that, but what we got is fine. There's no harm done. There's a lot of good humor involved, but it holds itself back, surprisingly, considering Paul Rudd is known for playing comedic roles in films. So this is quite a surprise. And it's also quite a major surprise to get acting legend Michael Douglas to be in this film. That is so cool. This is the first time I've seen a legend like Douglas appear in a Marvel blockbuster movie. And he's coming back for the sequel, which is even more exciting. In fact, everybody, minus a few actors here and there that were not in this film, are going to be in the sequel, which, like I said, I'm incredibly down for. The performances are really nice. I really like Michael Pena. Everybody does at this point. He is the comedic relief, clearly. He makes the most in terms of humor. Now, in terms of the major flaw I have with this film, is something that most Marvel films post pre-Captain America Civil War, and that is the villain. The villain he's pretty straightforward and kind of meh. I mean, he's just another bald villain. Like, literally. When you're bald and you're running a company and you have some very suspicious intentions, that's clearly the sign of a villain. Like, a villain. It's pretty, yeah. That, and, like, I know I kept mentioning, but this is just a very straightforward film. I wish there were more surprises involved in terms of the story and characters, I wish there was more of that, but what we got is fine. I'm definitely going to give this a solid B. It's not bad. It's definitely an entertaining movie. I would definitely rewatch it, especially for a marathon, But, yeah, it's a B movie. Yep. So this is the end of the Phase 2 roster of the MCU. Right, coming up next, it's a big one. It's a big one, and I can't wait to talk about that. Thank you so much for watching. Hit like, subscribe. Let me know what you thought about Ant-Man, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.